So in all honesty, guys, I've tried a lot of different budgets, okay? I've tried 50, 30, 20 splits. I've tried Japanese budgets. I even tried special budgets that I basically created, but the budget that works the best for me is basically what I call a baseline budget. It's a budget that allows you to be responsible, but at the same time lets you actually enjoy life and do things you actually want to do. So in this video, I'll tell you exactly why whenever you start a budget, you tend not to stick to it. You know, sometimes you start off like very strong, you go at it, it's a challenge, you're hitting it, but then all of a sudden, few months pass by and then you're like, well, just forget about that budget. I'm gonna do my own thing. And before you know it, you're back to the same exact mess. So by the end of this video, you'll have a better budget. You'll know why your budget sucks. And on top of that, I'll show you exactly how to make this work as best as possible. Now, as always, guys, do me a favor and smash the like button. I appreciate it a ton and it helps the channel out a ton. So I appreciate it, okay? Now, the very first thing is this, guys. Why don't budgets actually work? You know, have you ever tried going on a diet? You probably have. And the whole idea is you have this crazy diet you found online somewhere, you give it a try, you start off very, very motivated, and then as time passes, you get tired, it is stressing, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, I didn't even make this diet. I don't have any conviction. I have no reason to give my full honest effort to it. And before you know it, you actually break it and it falls apart. The reason you cannot stick to a budget is because usually you are using somebody else's budget. And you're probably saying, Tommy, does that mean I should click off the video because you're about to give me your favorite budget? And the answer is no. Because this budget and every single budget, in my opinion, is just a template. The reason you hate budget is because basically the budget you copied from somebody else works for them, but it doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So every single budget you try should have a level of customization. So this way you're actually happy, you feel conviction, and you know this is something you set up for yourself. And whenever you set something up for yourself, you are going to set it up in a way where you have the highest potential when it comes to success. So believe me when I say, guys, this budget for some folks is gonna seem like, well, this budget should be stricter. For some folks, it's gonna be like, well, this budget is too strict. But I'm telling you guys, make this budget yours and forget about what people say. Just make it yours and follow all the way through. Now, the first thing is this, guys. Tommy, what exactly is this baseline budget and how can I use it to actually help me? Well, first, I'll tell you exactly how it's helped me. A baseline budget is a budget that underlines exactly what your bare necessities actually are. And whenever it comes to bare necessities, usually you have just about four. Almost just fell off a chair. That's embarrassing, okay? But you usually have just about four. You have shelter, you have utilities, you have groceries, and on top of that, lastly, you also have transportation. Those are the main four. And there are certain rules to each of these four. And these rules, they're not really that negotiable. This is the part of the budget that makes you be responsible, because you can't say, I'm gonna customize this budget and your customization basically sucks and it's gonna make you end up in a trash place. No, this is the place of the budget where you don't customize at all for the most part, unless you really have to, okay? But when it comes to shelter, don't spend more than 33% of your net monthly income when it comes to shelter. If I make $1,000, I'm not gonna spend more than $333 a month on rent or on a mortgage. That's the idea. Just 33%. That is it, okay? Now, number two, utilities. Utilities, you have water. So if you got in value so far, I'm gonna ask for a favor. Subscribe to the channel because only like 20% of the people that watch are actually subscribed. So go ahead and subscribe right now because I have a lot more content. Now, number two, utilities. Utilities, you have water, gas, electricity, internet, and your phone bill. Those are the main five, okay? You kind of need those, okay? However, that does not mean, well, Tommy, I need for myself a 1 gigabyte internet connection, and I also need the latest iPhone along with the fastest 5G plan out there. The answer is no. That's stupid, and you're only playing yourself, okay? No one needs a gigabyte connection. Not even me, and my job is on the internet, okay? So get yourself a affordable plan where it's like 100 megabytes or like 200 megabytes and you'll be just fine. And as far as your phone bill, can you guess right now how much I pay as my phone bill? The answer is you're probably not even close, okay? The answer is I pay about $6. Tommy, how? Well, I use a service called Tello, Tello, and I pay them $6. I get unlimited data. It's like 500 megabytes, but then it's like 2G of unlimited data. And then I get, for example, like 100 minutes, okay? It's not that much. But if I actually wanted to get unlimited everything, I would basically pay like $25. And that would be just about it. It's a lot cheaper than T-Mobile, right? And that's why I have it. It's a great plan. I don't need to pay for any magnetic plan or anything out there. When it comes to food, between $200 to $300 per person. I really like going closer to 200. And when you say, I want to shop organic and I want to shop this, the answer is absolutely you can shop organic, but you just won't be getting a lot of the crap you usually get. You'll have to get, for example, just meats and lentils and seeds and just basically do meal preps at home, okay? And you'll have a good diet, a great diet, I'll say so myself, but you won't be buying all that pre-made stuff that costs so much money. Get creative and do meal preps. And lastly, for your car transportation, the answer is paid off car. You're only going to be paying for gas, maintenance, and basically insurance. That is it. Those are the main four expenses. That's how you save the most money, and that's where this plan is not that negotiable. Well, Tommy, where is the negotiable part? Where is the customization behind this plan? Well, the answer is pretty simple. It's not that popular, but I highly recommend you actually do this. Every time you get paid, set aside between 5 to 10% for fun. No matter where you are on your journey, whether you are on a debt-paying journey, whether you are on a saving up for your emergencies, whether you're trying to invest, whether you're trying to buy a house, just set aside 5 to 10% of your income to just have fun and do whatever you want with that money and don't feel any guilt about it. Tommy, but doesn't this mean that I'm going to get to my goals a lot slower? The answer is absolutely, okay? It does mean that. And it kind of sounds like it's kind of like weird, but the answer is if by doing something, right, you have a higher probability to achieve something that you have a very low probability of achieving, the answer is you actually want to do it. Most people are not debt free. Most people don't have a paid off home. Most people don't have a fully funded emergency account. Most people don't have passive income. What you're trying to achieve is very hard. So when you're trying to make something that's very hard even harder by having, for example, no fun and no money to actually wiggle around your pocket, the answer is it's going to be near impossible. That's why I say set aside 5 to 10%. Let's say you make $4,000 every single month, right? What is it? 10% of that is 400. 5% of that is 200 if I'm not mistaken, okay? That means, yeah, you're spending $200 and you might say, I feel guilty about it, but don't. Use that money to keep you going because every time you get paid, it's not like you're spending $400 all at once. You're getting like $100 every time you actually get a paycheck. You use that money to go out to eat, use that money to buy things on Amazon, use that money to get services you actually want, whether it's like subscriptions or whatever it is, but use that for that. And this way, you actually keep the steam going. It's like having a fire, and every now and then you just keep throwing some oil on it. Some oil on it. Some oil on it. Is it oil or gas? I just don't know, okay? But gas. And the fire gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But you have a higher likelihood of actually achieving your goal. This is the budget that has worked the best for me. And the reason is because basically every time I get paid, I look forward to getting paid because I know a part of the money that I actually get, I'm going to be able to use it to have fun with it. And that is awesome. So here's an idea, okay? You get paid, for example, $4,000. $2,000 goes towards your necessities. So that means 50% is gone. 10% goes towards fun, okay? So that's basically $400. Well, that's $2,400 already gone. Well, you still have, for example, $1,600. That's money to use for basically paying off your debt. Once you're done with the debt, save for emergencies. When you're done with that, invest. Once you're investing, save up for a home. That's the general idea. Yes, you could be a weirdo. You could be extreme. You could get to your goal a lot faster, but you could just burn out. And before you know it, you're not even using a budget anymore. and that's not what you want, okay? So yeah, this budget works best for me. And here is one tip if you made it all the way to the end of this video. And the tip is this, okay? Have an account just for your necessities, okay? That's going to be one debit card over here, one debit card right here. And then have an account for your fun. That's another debit card right here. And you have two separate debit cards. Never mix the money. You get paid, send the money over to your expense account, send money over to your fun account, use the fun for fun, use the expenses for your necessities. And this way, you make sure you don't spend the money you're supposed to be spending. And this way, when this card, the fun account, runs out of money, you don't feel guilty about it. You're just waiting until you get paid again. And you're always going to be looking forward for your next paycheck. I found this works the best. And the reason it works the best is because basically you get to pick what you're going to be spending your money on. And this makes it a lot better. This way the budget is just a template, but it's not, for example, like the strict thing, and you can't go outside of the margins, and before you know it, you're not just out the margins, you're just out of it altogether, okay? And that's not what I want for you. Well, guys, thanks for watching this video. Like, subscribe, hit the bell to get notified. This video is made possible by the Patreon people, and I appreciate you guys a ton, the Patreon supporters. And here you guys are right here. So if you want to join us on Patreon, I appreciate you guys a ton. You get exclusive content and also a lot of discounts and so on. But for the most part, I appreciate that you guys are actually supporting the channel, and it means a lot to me. So thank you guys a lot. And up here is another video. Over here is my face. Click and subscribe. And as always, long-term team officially out. Peace.